Hello, welcome to everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday webinar. What we've got in store for today is a couple of things. Number one, I want to have the CEO of DAS, Mateus, on. He's going to talk to us a little bit about CRM and I suppose where it fits in the overall ecosystem and why it's so important to the future of what we're trying to build out here. So we've got of course, at the moment, we all know we've got Alliance Pay and DAS Pay. We hopefully have a pretty good explanation of that from the Wednesday webinar with Brian explaining his part to play in all that, and I suppose his dedication for all process. And of course, the player explained with Brian on Monday how that is going to roll out. And of course, that's usually important that happens in a timely manner. Now we have a clear of when that's going to happen, and it's usually important. And of course, the ecosystem, there is more to it than that. We of course have that 33. That's the plans for that are going ahead really well, and the companies are coming. There's a company who's very interested in getting on our platform. Our platform is unique. It's important. We understand that. The likes of Ethereum have changed the game when they created their ICO platform. With ours, it's more advanced and in our opinion a better way of allowing companies with just an idea that may not have all the developer ready, the marketing and all that in place. They can come onto our platform, actually buy that from us through our system. And for a lot of these companies, that will be done. They'll come on either looking for cycles, which for us are huge value to our cycles. We can use those cycles to participate in some of these TAOs, we're called token asset offerings. And this is going to be, will put huge power and huge potential in the cycles that we hold. Of course, some of them will cycles build out what they need out on our platform and may come back looking for Ascoin to take it to the next level. And of course, some mature ICOs and token asset offerings, as we call them, they will come on specifically just for DAS. On Bitcoin itself. So that's something really, something for us to look forward to, and we know that's coming to at the end of September, the latest. See if you can do things any quicker than that. That will happen. And so we're going to have Fraser on towards the end all, explain a little more about that, and all going well. Actually showing you a presentation that has actually been put together by the advocates. So hopefully we've got on the call here. Michael, are you there? Let me just wait and see. Michael is to come on, and he's going to, like I said, a little bit about the CRM, where that fits in to the overall team. The CRM is, of course, first and foremost, it adds more value to our actual license itself. So in the past, all along, what we were getting was we were getting a license that had cycles only. And obviously, then depending on when you book your license, you could either they were all completely automated, or later then they were manual, and you'd submit them or hold them. And depending when you've submitted them, you would get all your upgrades or not. You're getting the best of both worlds with the new version of our license. The first, so let's take the 5,000 license. In the 5,000 license, you get 65,000 cycles. All along, if you use 65,000 cycles, you wouldn't upgrades. Or in the previous version to that, they were just all automatically submitted. So you had no choice. But we have the ultimate choice, because the first 65,000 cycles are going to be there. You can use them any way you want. You can submit them straight away without effect or upgrades. You can hold them. You can use them, hold them for these TAOs. Token asset offerings, which we believe will have huge potential. So you have complete ownership, and you say whatever you want with those, and they won't affect grades. This is really important to stress and for people to understand that, because what that means now is you can use them immediately, whether you submit them to be minted, or you for a token asset offering, and to get your full upgrade on your coins. So just at the moment, and the current free treatments, if you were to submit a 5,000 license, if you were to hold your cycles, your 65,000 cycles, let's say, use them for one or a number of token asset offers, and also you'll get your automatic submission of your coins on the current frequency. You'll end with over 10,000 DAS coin and these cycles inside and token asset offering. So this is a unique situation. That's the way the license is right now, and it offers so much. But not just that. Now we also have this CR package. If, for example, you were the CRM packages that come with your list, if you were to sell them, it'll more than pay for your first day. In effect, gives you your cycles and your DAS coins for free. You want to look at it that way. So it's great options and great potential. So the CRM adds a lot, just there specific, but there is so much more to it than that. CRM is going to bring businesses to as it's our opportunity to connect with businesses and get businesses using our software through the smart CRM package that we will have explained in more detail at the end of the week. Dennis, the creator, Dennis Wilson, is going to do a webinar on Friday, where he'll explain a little more about, you know, how he who he is, put this together, what together, and just how effective it can be. But also, it's important for people to get the wider. And the wider picture is where CRM, we used to get our connections with the businesses. So you can imagine you bring some businesses in, you sign up, you give them the CRM patch. With the CRM, of course, first and foremost, they can track their business. They can track day-to-day running, and they can for their customers. This is something we've been using in my day job with our business. So when a customer comes in, that we can actually within those customers you can follow and track them exactly, whether you've given them a quote or you've rang them or whatever. But before I go on, Michael, are you there? Are you ready to come on, Michael? I'll take that as a no for now. At any point, just jump in when you're on. So with the CRM, so it allows us to track customers, but there's also going to be a click funnel in. Again, this will all get explained. There's a lot of material going to be coming out either today or tomorrow with relation to exactly what the CRM is, how it works, and how we can use it, and how it can benefit our own personal business if we're building this network within DASCoin, but also for businesses throughout the world, whether they're a hairdresser, a clothes shop, a paint shop, whatever it may be. You can follow what your customers do, when they need to be called back, and it's a complete tracker of what you need to do with your customer. So it helps retain customers and gain customers. So it's usually useful. How's that use in the overall scheme of within DASCoin? Well, within DASCoin, the idea here is that when we've those connections made, that maybe some of those businesses will come on to our DASNet and have offers for us on our DASNet app. This is where this is going down the line. Businesses are going to want to come onto our DASNet because we already have a network. We have a network of people that can be customers for. As more businesses come on, more people are going to want to get onto that DASNet and get these offers that are being offered by these businesses. The more people come on, the more companies are going to want to come on. So the earlier we make that connection with these businesses, the better it is for us. And here's one of the key elements that maybe people aren't fully aware of just yet. But within this CRM, if you are the one that brings that business to the table, then every transaction that happens within that system, within our ecosystem, in that business, there is going to be something for the person that brought that into the business. So basically what we're doing here is you have option to build up a residual income. Now this is hugely powerful. People, as we stand, people have their DASCoin. I believe there's going to be substantial value in them in the future. That's my opinion. Cycles, we have huge power with those with regards to the token asset offerings, and now within CRM we have potential to build up a a residual income. But without further ado, I think I can introduce you, the CEO of Dascoin. Please join us, Michael.
Hey,
Hello, Michael.
apologies for the delay here.
Okay.
Yes, so
I don't know what you've heard, whether you heard what I was talking about or not, but basically I'm going to hand it over to you anyway. I was
okay,
trying
yeah,
to
I was rebooting. I was rebooting to get the camera working. Okay, so I want to talk about the CRM and really what kind of role this plays in the overall DOS ecosystem. Right now, this is really what is known as software as a service. We're taking the capabilities of the network, the global technology network that we've built, and we are putting it into the form of a product. And this software as a service product right now is CRM. It's a customer relationship management tool. But where we're going with this is going to be a full business management interface. So this is going to be the digital command center for a business to run its business. And so we're starting with the most vital part of a business, which is communications and relationships with the customer, the lifeblood of any business. There's a lot of data that comes through. There's a lot of things to keep track of. Our CRM system is designed to help to manage that flow of information and optimize it. And we're going to be adding, we really see this system as a digital administration system. And we're going to be adding, we're starting with the CRM module, but we're going to be adding a vendor management module, a human resources management module. We're going to be getting a marketing module. This was kind of what I had talked about in Barcelona, the DOSNet Pro. There's a marketing module that's going to be very powerful. We'll add, managing technology there, project management, legal management, accounting, all blockchain based, all leveraging our native, the resources, the capabilities of our network of technology are harnessed in this system. And we have it in the form of smart tools for individuals and for running their, for running this particular business as well. And then we have it in the form of smart business, which is really this aggregation of tools for running any business. And we're going to be creating a ton of content that's specific to different industries that are built into this system. So the way that we're going to harness this is, now our incentive or the idea is to create relationships with all different types of businesses throughout the world. And the incentive to you guys, to an advocate, is that you're setting up, you're creating these relationships in order to set up long-term residual passive income streams. And so think about it, if someone's using this system to run their business out of, and they have all these handy elements, all these great tools in one place, we are going to be now adding a lot of helpful services that you will be paid, a residual on. And the perfect example of that is DOSPay. The final, the final form of DOSPay is going to be a payments network, an end-to-end payments network that is really third generation compared to what is out there now. Now, what it can do for businesses, it can save them money on their interchange fees. It can eliminate fraud. It can create settlement instantly versus waiting for a number of days. And most importantly, it'll have the power of data flow that will allow them to do some really interesting marketing, really interesting marketing that will bring new customers to their business. And all of this is going to be like the traditional merchant processing industry. you would get, if you were the one who brought the business to the table, and they're now using our DasPay payments network. Every charge that comes through, because it takes MasterCard, Visa, all the different cryptos, every charge that comes through, you're getting a piece of in the form of a long-term passive income. And I've known many people that have retired off of merchant processing systems like this for MasterCard and Visa. You get a big account and you get a little piece of every charge that comes through that business, and it just is ongoing for the life of the business. So that's where we're going with it, and there's huge incentive for us to make this system as attractive as possible. And so one of the ways we want to deploy it is you guys are going to be able to say, okay, it's not always, it's not a hard pitch. So what it would be is 3 months free. It's the freemium model. 3 months free, and then they can start to pay for the 12-month subscription that comes with your existing licenses. So that idea of get on, use our smart hour to get oriented, get situated, and then start to use this tool. Well, within 3 months, at the end of that 3 months, if they have used that tool and they like it, they're going to make a purchase. That can be facilitated by you directly. That can be facilitated ultimately. NetLeaders will have some forms of facilitating that payment. But that's that you're going to be making that retail profit on that. And
okay, so if I just can come in there, Michael, for a second. So basically what you're saying is this. So I think what a lot of people were looking at here was we were going out to sell the CRM as a one-off payment. Here's your CRM, here's the payment, thanks very much and good luck. But actually what it is that payment is there. First and foremost, you're going to get, are you saying so the retailer is going to get a 3-month free trial?
Yes. So that's the way we're going to redeem these. Is the retailer, you're going to give them that subscription code. They're going to go onto mysmartbusiness.com. They're going to activate that. They'll start 3 months free. They don't have to pay anything for that. It's only when that subscription is up that then, the 3 month is up, that then they would decide, is this a value or not? Well, we're going to work so hard to make sure this is as valuable a tool as possible, because this sets us up for all these ancillary services to come through. We believe that this platform is going to be transformational to businesses. So, and there's a lot of services coming off of that.
Okay, so basically it runs like this. We get a business, we go, tell them about CRM, here, have it for free, 3 months. They run it for 3 months, presumably things go well, they're going to be happy and want to stay with it. Then we have a business where we create the contact. So if you had walked in the door, I'm the person who created that contact. So now when they buy it, that payment is they're buying it from me. So I'm making that one-off fee, which is great, but it's far bigger than that, because now if we continue to develop a relationship with them, start using the CRM, by the way, what you just described at the time is far more than standard CRM. But that's maybe for another call. But within that CRM, really, we're bringing them into our way of thinking. And then when DasPay, the new version of DasPay, is launched, as payments are being processed within their shop, and another key element you mentioned there is it doesn't matter if they're paying with Dascoin, with a credit card, debit card, whatever it may be, there's a little cut in there for in this example for me on every payment that's made through that shop. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, it's absolutely correct. I know it sounds almost like too good to be true, but it is absolutely where we're going. That's why I want Brian. I know you had Brian on Monday. We got to do a special dedicated session where we talk about this particular system, because early on when Brian and Rui were sharing the full vision, full capability of this system, and Rui's been working on this for 5 years. Like, this is it's a totally different orientation. This system is based on, instead of giving credentials, and being vulnerable because of that, it flips it around, and you're basically being billed. You're paying a bill, and I want to go into better depth on that, but it is really a unique technology and a unique system. and it does solve many problems. So there's also, it's really going to be, in my opinion, there's really nothing that compares to it in the merchant processing space. So this will be a hands down winner. And whoever has got that relationship, they would be the beneficiary of that flow of residual income. So
okay, for me, sorry for interrupting, but for me, what this is there's a couple of aspects of this. Number one, we want to create, me as an advocate, I want to go on and create that link with good business, because number one, I want to make that sale, but that's only a minor part now from what you've just told me. The next part is there's a residual income coming from that business, every payment they make over the history of that using that payment system coming to me. And on top of all of that, they as a retailer are going to be receiving the money faster, pretty much instantly, versus at the moment it's 4 or 5 days. They're going to be paying less. At for most businesses around 3%. I believe you're looking at 1%-ish as a general idea.
Yes. So yeah, exactly. So everywhere, Europe is pretty competitive, but everywhere else, there's amazing savings that will be had by the merchant. So absolutely, they're saving money.
Oh, and more secure.
And more secure.
And on top of all that, and then there's going to be marketing elements through it as well.
Yeah, because it's
okay. So
all the information is going to be available. I know. So it's a really powerful thing. So that's why we know that this is a new thing. We're getting it right. We're taking an existing system, and we're going to optimize this thing, and we're going to add these other modules too. And with each of these modules, there are income opportunities with many of them. I shouldn't say with each, but with many of the modules we'll be adding, there are going to be additional products and services available to the business through those modules. And that, again, whoever created the relationship with that business, that's going to be another income stream. And that's what we're really looking at here, is like how to create residual income streams that are highly diversified within the business community. You have all these, essentially a little piece of all these different businesses that are, either locally or anywhere in the world. You can bring businesses, and you can do, the other thing to keep in mind is you can do it directly. You can have direct relationships, the business owner, but you can also use the CRM to actually do very passive, for people that maybe they don't like to sell, they could do marketing efforts, marketing campaigns that do very passively use those funnels and bring them that client to sign up for the 3-month free, and then boom, they haven't done anything. So there's all that going on. Yeah.
Right. So we can use the CRM to build CRM customers, to build a residual income, which if I think to take that one step further, is these same businesses could then be the people on our DasNet app offering goods and services to an ever-expanding network.
It all is a symbiotic relationship, and that's where it's hard to see it all right now, but it all works together, and everything is building up the value within the ecosystem, and so that's ultimately going to affect the value of DasCoin.
So what that really brings us back to here in a nutshell is the CRM is a really integral cog in pulling all this together, and so it becomes vitally important. But also, as advocates, it makes it very interesting all of them to go out, and you're not just getting that one-off payment. It's the back end residual payment that the potential for that is enormous. And now I want to get to that business before the next one. The race is on.
And the final point on that is, so there's a very strong potential income streams from that alone. And then you go into the fact that, yes, then you also get the DAS wallet and all the functionality in there, the access to DAS Exchange, the DAS Marketplace, DAS 33. But then the final piece is, as just the icing on the cake, you're provided with cycles when you now purchase a NetLeaders license, and those that's just the added benefit. That's part of our global blockchain-based customer loyalty program, and so you're getting those cycles. But you should have recovered, your initial costs through the CRM sales, and the residual income from there is going to be additional profit. But then, having the cycles and what you can do with those, is just gravy. You know, that's as I say, the icing on the cake. So it's not. So many people have kind of made that the whole story, and it's just part of the story now. You know, it's
Yeah,
the
well, I guess, Michael, to be fair, to the at the start to us, it was the story really of cycles, and it was minting for Dascoin. Obviously, we can really see that story is very much developing very quickly and strongly in front of our eyes. What you've just described to us in the last 10 minutes or so, or 15 or whatever it was, is mind blowing if you get the full concept. So the potential is literally enormous. Obviously, there's going to be quite a few more webinars required to delve a little bit deeper into all of that. We are going doing a little bit with CRM with Dennis on Friday, and from there we'll see how to attack this and how to break it down in bite size. But
and there's a lot going on right now with getting all the. I know that with John and the team at NetLeaders, they're getting all the material together to help everybody with this new. You know, it's reframing the whole thing. So a lot of support, a lot of tools are needed, but we just need people to be. I know it's difficult to be patient right now, but we're really close to having what you guys will need to really take this to a whole nother level. So I think it's exciting.
Yeah, for sure, exciting. Look, Michael, I think that's given us an idea anyway of where CRM fits in the overall, and it's like a really cornerstone to what we're building here. So look, with that, I'd like to say thanks very much for taking time out of your very busy schedule. That's exciting stuff, and I'm glad you came on and gave us an overview of that. It's certainly something we'll have to delve deeper into, and we'll attack that on a few more webinars going into the future. So, Michael, on that, thank you very much. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Viv. I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Michael. So, yeah, if that isn't exciting for people, the only way you're not going to be excited by that is if you don't fully understand it. And I probably don't 100% get it, but it's certainly the parts I do get certainly come across exciting. I'm hearing residual income. I'm hearing potential for very significant figures. I'm hearing ways for us to connect with business initially through CRM and bring them into the overall system. That increases the potential for DASnet in the future. There's going to be more and more companies coming on there, which in turn will attract more and more people. I think that the value of our license is just going up incredibly quickly. We used just to have cycles. You could create just Dascoin. Now we have cycles. You can go into token asset offerings. We have Dascoin, which you can do the same with. And of course, now we have the CRM, which allows us an initial sale, but bigger than that, far bigger than that, is we can build up a residual link, and it is all interconnected. This is where we were saying before, pieces have been created, but they're being brought into place. I think we can start to see that. And as part of that, I'd like to welcome my next guest, a man who's been involved in business from the very beginning. I suppose just to introduce what we're looking at here. First and foremost, I suppose to say hello and welcome to her. Hi, Fraser. Thanks for taking the time.
Hey, Viv, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear. So what I've Fraser to come on is we want to I suppose have a look at DAS33. DAS33 has been I suppose something that's been worked on quite a while. Obviously, it was put back by a little bit of time because of the integration now with a SEC registered American company that have securities. So we're integrating with those right at the moment, and that will be done over the next month or two, and we'll be ready for full launch in September. But I suppose the company are working on material on that, on DAS33, Alliance Pay, CRM, all that. But as advocates, a few of us came together, including Fraser here, and we wanted to break it down, make it really simple, and something that we could produce to the field. So, Fraser, do you have that?
Yeah, I thought. Sorry, is Brian sharing the screen?
I don't see it on screen just yet. Larry, are we getting that on screen?
No.
Oh.
No, we're not.
Ah, okay. Right. Okay. Well, in that case, all we can say is this. We have, believe it or not, working very hard on a DAS 33 presentation. Maybe, Fraser, you can just give an overview of what we did, we went about it, and of course, we will get it out to you in the near future.
Yeah, listen, this was you know, a lot of hours put in by a number of advocates who have been around this business for a while, and I think it, you know, as Viv says, that this presentation, it's a short, punchy presentation just to explain DAS 33, and it's being put together by the advocates, and we look forward to using it amongst the team in our training sessions. I think what I liked about this is that the presentation, that the graphics and everything that fall into line are very clear, they're very fresh, and the slides are very easy to understand. I think anybody that is looking to promote their business to individuals, or if they're looking to promote it to businesses, this is a great tool to start with, because it's going to take you through from A to Z of how to pitch that effectively to individuals. The one unique point here, and I think this is something that we've learned as leaders, as advocates, while doing this presentation, is that this is not just about DAS coin as a currency. So you know, if you're looking at bringing a business in onto the system, then those early businesses, in their early startup businesses, would use cycles as their token. But we might have, for instance, at the other end of the spectrum, a company who is looking to get their product or service to market, but they are an advanced company. They're almost at that point. And so they would then use DAS coin as a token to get their product and service onto the TAO, and get that to market. But there has to be a middle ground. So companies that are in that mid-range, who are neither here or there, so to speak, they would use a combination of cycles and DAS coin. And I think, you know, a couple of slides in there, it's very difficult without having the prompts there, a couple of slides in there where, you know, if you are pitching to an individual, somebody within the community who wants to get involved with the TAO and get involved with those companies, then there is a very simple 4 or 5 step process in how to do that on a slide. Similarly, if you have a business who is looking at DAS 33 to get their product or service to the market, then we have a very simple 4 or 5 step process and a slide that shows that. You know, amongst that, we've got you know, previous successful ICOs or TAOs who have generated huge sums of money and have got their product and service to market. And you know, it's one of those, had we known about that, that's the kind of income that we could have maybe have developed from those projects. The great thing about this is that the DAS 33 is going to be what we believe is going to be a unique solution, where there's going to be a lot more control over those companies, those TAOs, token asset offerings, so that we can control and make sure that they are here for the longevity as best as possible. So it's exciting times. I wish we would have had the presentation together to be able to put that in front of you. But guys, what I will say, this presentation is a work in process. We're only a few short calls away now from it being actually approved. And once it has been approved, then that will then get the green light to go ahead. It's around 7 or 8 slides. Actually, it's 10 slides long, but it's very, very logical step-by-step process to go for anybody who wants to pitch as one of the community or wants to pitch a business to bring on board into the DAS 33. Exciting stuff. And just going back to what Michael has just been saying with the CRM, man, I was blown away with what the information that's come from that. Absolutely blown away. And if you don't get that, guys, then you need to speak to your upline and really, really click onto this, because that is, it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah,
So, Viv, back to you, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Fraser. Look, I suppose with regards to the DAS 33, obviously we wanted to show it to you here, but look, it'll be available for distribution early next week. It is really clean cut. We say thanks to David Carroll for all the efforts that he put into it. And there was many advocates there who put huge amount of time into it. It was really key that we kept it as short as possible, but still covered the subject, and that it was in simple English. And I think we've achieved that. I think it's really good. Like I said, you'll see it shortly. But back to what Fraser said about what Michael covered earlier. It's a case of, I would suggest listening again to what he had to say in it. And of course we'll cover it in depth and go into the element of. But for anyone that this is just about a coin is completely missing what this is about. The coin is going to be huge. I have no doubt. It's my opinion. The coin is going to be huge. But it's just one element. There's a lot of coins out there, but there's nothing that is putting together what's being put together here, and that really should be starting to become apparent for everybody.
No better reasons to start selling licenses again.
Yeah, selling licenses. Give people an opportunity. The only way they're going to involve with these really early stage TAOs, and they're the ones that have the potential to give you the best multiples, is with cycles, and you can't get cycles without a license. So there's no doubt that's important, but you know, it's the bigger picture here. It's the cycles and it's DAS coin, but it's CRM is a vital cog now. Who doesn't want to go out and get some business in on your name and have a residuum for the rest of the time that business is operating? I know I want some of that. So look, with that, guys, we will get that presentation to you shortly. Other than that, I'd like to say thanks to Fraser for coming on and giving us a quick overview of what it's about. Thanks to Michael for, I hope, blowing everybody away, because if it didn't blow you away, with that, we have another call on Friday, same time. We're going to start talking with Dennis Wilson, the creator of the CRM. So he's going to give an overview of himself, where he came up with the idea, what he's putting together. And next week we definitely need to look into more what the CRM is about and how it affects the different aspects. So with that, guys, keep an eye out. There's CRM coming out the back of us in the next year or two, where you'll see the actual workings of how it works. There's plenty for us to learn there, but I'm really excited to take that product now to the market. With that, guys, thanks everyone for taking the time. It's certainly longer than we all had hoped for, but I think there's some really valuable information in there, and look forward to talking to you all very shortly. Thank you very much.